Hey everyone, it's Kai from Cool Collectibles back again for another review. This time it's the Storm Collectibles Ultra Street Fighter 2 Sagat. For a place to get all your collectibles, click the link in the description below to head on over to Big Bad Toy Store. They ship worldwide, so definitely check them out. Alright, this Sagat is the third figure in the Street Fighter 2 series from Storm Collectibles that I've got after Ryu and Ken. I do love Street Fighter 2 from playing in the arcades back in the early 90s and so on. So once I saw these figures announced, I couldn't resist getting them as well. Just quickly on the box art, standard sort of issue with these ones, and the nice sort of photos and so on of all the posability. I love these classic iconic poses of his that I'll try and get the figure into. So stay tuned to the Facebook page over at Cool Collectibles for some of the photos that I'll post up over the next few days. It comes with the box there. It comes with this background art, which is his iconic stage from Street Fighter 2. I love that lying Buddha. The accessories comes with the parts for the stand, so you just put these vertical pieces up there, and you can then place one of the joints in that hole there and have him shooting his tiger shot, either low or high, I guess, depending on how you want to pose it. But I do like that it's sort of hollowish, and it does look pretty nice with that sort of orange-yellow translucent plastic. The best part of the figure for me, of course, is the various head sculpts that he comes with, and I think they've done a fantastic job with these. I love this loser screen sort of sculpt. The blood is actually really nicely done. It's got a nice sort of gloss to it. I love the teeth there and the bruised eyes and so on. And there's even some nice freckling on the skin application. So they've definitely done a great job for this particular sculpt. I love the snarling sculpt, which I'll probably use, to be honest, in a fighting pose of some sort with Ryu. I love the eye patch there, and the scarring and so on. So definitely great work there. And then he's got the smiling sculpt. Now I probably would have used this if you could actually get his arms into that crossed arm look with his winning pose, I guess, where he's laughing. But I don't think you can. Action figures are notoriously hard to get figures into getting their arms crossed. But I'll see what I can manage in the photos. But I'll probably be sticking with that snarling sculpt anyway. He does come with the stoic sculpt straight out of the box, and as before, the paint application is very nicely done, and it matches the skin application on the rest of the body very nicely as well, but we'll get to that shortly. I do love the array of hands that he comes with. So these are the splayed hands for his kicking poses. Love the what do they call it, the band-aid or the bandages and the wrapping there. Looks very nicely painted and sculpted there. He's got the tiger shot hands, and he's got these, not actually quite sure what these flat hands are for. I can't really picture any moves that he's got with these hands, to be honest. The fists, of course, are for the tiger uppercut, sorry. So I'll probably have these and maybe one of these splayed hands for a kicking pose of some sort. But here is the figure. Now, out of the box, I guess I was a bit worried about these joints, but once you get him into a dynamic pose and so on, they're not too bad, to be honest. I do like the fact that the joints here are painted as well, so they do match the sculpt and the rest of the skin application. I don't have too many issues with the paint application. There's probably a bit of a spot there, and there is one tiny one on his abdomen there, and a bit of a scratch on the blue there, but overall not too bad. The articulation wise, he's got articulation in spades, to be honest. I love the butterfly shoulders there. This whole piece at the top here is just it's almost like a floating rubber piece. I guess when you articulate it, it does break up the scarring sculpt, but there's not much you can do about that for a articulated figure. These shoulders you can get out pretty wide and high like that, so you can get him into all the iconic poses of his. Probably watch out for a bit of paint rub there. There is a bit of rub there. But overall, moving the joints around, nothing sort of feels like it's too weak or fragile or anything like that. Double jointed elbow, so lots of articulation there. The elbow joint doesn't look too bad, and getting his hand up into those shooting tiger shot poses will be pretty easy, I think. I do like how the sculpt matches up along his forearm there as well, and all the veins and so on the sculpt do look pretty nice. Would have been nice if they sort of almost coloured those a little bit bluish for the veins, but I guess for a figure like this, that's not too bad. Just be careful when you sort of articulate this back here that doesn't get caught underneath, but overall it's pretty good, as you can see, with the range of motion, and you could also rotate at the waist, so nothing really hinders the articulation on this guy at all. You can get him into lots of action poses. The shorts, I think, are pretty nice. The sculpting there doesn't really hinder the articulation at all, so you can get him into all sorts of poses. The knees are double jointed. They do feel a little bit tight, so just be careful there. There's no sort of swivel. I thought there might have been a swivel at the shorts here, but there's not that I can see. But you can swivel at the top of the hips there. And then of course you get the action in the feet. It doesn't feel like it goes too far back, to be honest, pointing down, which is a shame for the jumping in the air shots. But he's got the foot action there as well, so I think getting him into some of those kicking poses will be pretty easy. But I'll follow some of the blogger photos. The blogger photos have been pretty sensational, so I'll grab those up on Facebook and try and replicate those on the in the display cabinet. But to finish up, I might just grab Ryu and give you a quick side-by-side. Hold on. So here he is side by side with Ryu. Now the Ryu figure, if you watch my review, I did think that the legs were a little bit too short and gave him that sort of stocky, almost fat look around the torso area. But I think Sagat here, the body proportions are pretty much spot on. The legs don't look too long or too short. And I guess the scale in comparison to Ryu, if you've seen the original Street Fighter 2 Japanese anime, it looks pretty accurate to that opening fight scene of theirs. So I think scale-wise they've done a great job, and posability-wise you'll definitely be able to get Sagat into some really good fighting poses with Ryu here. So that's pretty much it for Sagat. Hopefully you like that quick look at him and can click that like and subscribe button. I do have the Guile review coming up next, so hopefully you can stick around for that. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.